All right, I need you to prepare yourself. Seriously, because over the next few minutes, we're gonna challenge something you probably trust completely, your own memory. This is all about that strange, kind of unsettling, but totally fascinating thing known as the Mandela Effect. So let's start with a little pop quiz. Don't overthink it, okay? Just go with your first instinct. Picture the Monopoly man, rich Uncle Pennybags. What's that one distinctive thing he wears on his face? You've seen the guy a million times. Got your answer? Okay, hold that thought.
Question number 2. Let's go back to Disney's Snow White. The evil queen, she's standing in front of that magic mirror. What are the exact first words she says to it? Come on, it's one of the most famous lines in movie history. You can probably hear it in your head right now.
And for the final question, think about that classic kids book series, the one about the family of bears. How do you spell their name? Is it Berenstein or Berenstain? Which one just feels right to you?
Okay, so if you answered a monocle, mirror, mirror on the wall, and Berenstain with an E, well, I have some pretty jarring news for you. Every single one of those answers is factually, completely, 100% wrong. Let's just look at the facts. The Monopoly man, he has never, not once, worn a monocle. The queen, she actually says magic mirror on the wall. And those bears, they have always been the Berenstain Bears, spelled with an A. You feel that? That little jolt in your brain? That feeling of, no way, I know what I remember. That specific weird feeling is exactly what we're going to dig into. This whole bizarre experience has a name, the Mandela Effect. It's what happens when a massive group of people all share the exact same false memory. Now, some people have these wild theories. We slipped into a parallel universe, or it's a glitch in the simulation. But the real explanation, it's less sci-fi and way more psychological. See, it's not a glitch in the universe, it's a fundamental feature of how your brain actually works. The entire reason this happens comes down to a huge misunderstanding we all have about what memory even is. We walk around thinking our brain is this perfect recording device, capturing the past with perfect accuracy. But that belief is just wrong. It's not a faithful record, not even close. And this right here is the core idea you need to get. The myth we all believe is that our memory is like a video camera. We experience something, our brain hits record, and when we want to remember it, we just hit play. Simple. But the reality is so much weirder. Our memory is actually more like a Wikipedia page. It's a living document, and every single time you access it, you have the chance to edit it.
So what does this reconstruction actually feel like? Well, when you recall a memory, you're not pulling up a single clean file. You're pulling together all these different fragments, a piece of a sight from here, a bit of a sound from there, an emotion, and you're stitching them back together. And while you're doing that, new stuff can get mixed in, things you heard from other people, even just your mood today. And here's the absolute kicker. Your brain saves this new, edited version as the official memory. So you're not actually remembering the original event, you're just remembering the last time you remembered it.
Okay, so if our memory is this editable, fragile thing, what are the specific psychological tricks our brain uses that create these huge, shared, false memories like the Mandela Effect? Let's get into the science of it, because there are 4 main culprits that explain why your very smart, very healthy brain just makes stuff up. First up, we've got a great word, confabulation. Your brain is a storyteller and it absolutely hates plot holes. It can't stand a gap in the narrative. So if you only remember bits and pieces of something, your brain won't just leave a blank space. It will automatically, unconsciously invent plausible details to fill in the gaps and make the story feel complete. Your brain's top priority isn't factual accuracy, it's a coherent story. And it's not lying, you genuinely believe these invented parts are real. Next, we have schemas. Think of these as mental shortcuts or blueprints. Your brain gets bombarded with information all day, so it creates these little categories to file things away quickly. The Monopoly man is the perfect example. You have a schema or a mental blueprint for a rich, old-timey banker. And what's in that blueprint? A top hat, a fancy suit, and yep, probably a monocle. It just fits the stereotype. So even though he never had one, your brain just adds it in there because it makes filing him in the rich guy folder way more efficient. It's a cognitive shortcut that chooses speed over accuracy.
The third reason is social contagion. We are social animals, right? We remember things together. So if your own memory of something is a little fuzzy, and a whole group of people are confidently saying, oh yeah, it happened this way, your brain will often just quietly overwrite your vague memory to match the group's. And the internet has thrown this into overdrive. A single meme or a Reddit thread with thousands of upvotes reinforcing a false memory acts like this powerful social proof. And suddenly that false memory spreads like a virus.
And finally, there's the source monitoring error. Now this one is really fascinating. It's a glitch where your brain remembers a piece of information perfectly, but it completely botches where that information came from. You might remember the line, mirror, mirror, but you're forgetting that you heard it in a parody and not the original movie. Or you remember the Berenstain Bears spelling because a comedian made a joke about it. Your brain holds on to the detail but forgets the unreliable source and incorrectly files it as part of the original. You're mistaking an echo for the real thing.
So far, we've been talking about board games and cartoons. It's all kind of fun, a little mind-bending, but now we need to talk about how these same little cognitive glitches can have much, much bigger consequences in the real world. Consequences that go way beyond trivia. Okay, take the case of the movie Shazam. This is a big one. There are thousands, literally thousands of people online who will swear on a stack of Bibles that they remember a 90s movie where the comedian Sinbad played a genie. They'll tell you about the box art, about specific scenes. The problem? That movie was never, ever made. It doesn't exist. It's a perfect storm of our memory flaws. People are mixing up their schema of Sinbad in the 90s in funny outfits with their actual memory of a real movie, Kazam, which starred Shaq as a genie. Their brains just confabulated a brand new memory by mashing two real ideas together. Or what about maybe the most misquoted line in movie history? Everybody knows Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father," but he doesn't. The real line is, "No, I am your father." The Luke got added later by all of us. Through social contagion, through jokes and parodies and kids playing in the schoolyard, the version that made more sense took over and completely overwrote the original. We all remember the cultural echo, not the actual script. And this brings us to the place where this stops being fun and gets frankly dangerous: the justice system. For years, eyewitness testimony was treated like the absolute gold standard in a courtroom, but we now know it is incredibly unreliable. An eyewitness can be 100% certain, absolutely positive about what they saw, and still be 100% wrong. The stress of a crime, leading questions from police, things they see on the news later, it can all contaminate and cause a witness to confabulate a memory that feels totally real, but isn't. And these glitches, they have sent innocent people to prison. So the big question is, if our memories are this easy to manipulate, what are we supposed to do? Are we just stuck? No, not at all. We can't change how our brains are wired, but we can become aware of these built-in flaws. We can learn to be more critical thinkers about our own minds. So here are 4 steps you can take to kind of inoculate your brain. Number 1, embrace intellectual humility. Just get comfortable with the idea that the feeling of being certain doesn't actually mean you're right. When someone shows you evidence that contradicts your memory, don't just dig in your heels. Pause. Consider you might be misremembering. Number 2, verify before you amplify. Before you share that cool new Mandela Effect you saw online, just do a quick search. Go to the original source. Third, be wary of asking leading questions. Instead of saying, "Remember that awful green car?" try asking, "What do you remember about the car?" Don't contaminate their memory with your own. And finally, document your life. Keep a journal, take photos. These things create an external record that can help ground your fuzzy internal memories in reality. Look, the big takeaway here is this. The Mandela Effect isn't proof that we live in a simulation. It's proof that you have a beautifully messy, creative storytelling machine inside your head. Your brain is built for survival and making sense of the world, not for perfect digital recall. Understanding this doesn't mean you can never trust your own mind. It just means you get to upgrade your relationship with it, from blind trust to a healthy, informed skepticism. Honestly, being aware of your brain's little tricks is like a superpower. It helps you think more clearly, it helps you argue more productively, and it just makes you a little more humble about what you think you know for sure. It makes you a wiser person. So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Now that you know how this all works, what's the one false memory, the one Mandela effect, that your brain just refuses to let go of?